What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Robbie, the Precision Rifle Sniper, and today we're putting these two rifles against each other. A 27-pound 6mm GT and a 10-pound 6.5 Creedmoor. You don't want to miss this, so stick around. These two rifles are complete opposites. Both of them have an impact action, but the barrel and chassis are completely different. First up is the 27-pound 6mm GT. Is a heavy 1.25-inch straight taper barrel, and on the opposite end we have a lightweight carbon fiber barrel. The heavy chassis is an MDT HNT chassis with all the weights, or just about all the weights. On the other end we have the lightest of the MDT chassis, the HNT26. Also, both rifles have a TriggerTech Diamond, and both rifles have the same scope setup. So other than the barrel and chassis, we're comparing heavy to light, apples to apples, as best as I can. I do have a trigger cam on here today, so we'll get to see what it looks like in action. For recoil, that's the biggest thing I'm wanting to compare. So stick around, here we go. Alright guys, first up is going to be our 6.5 Creedmoor. This thing weighs in at 10.5 pounds. It's a HNT26 chassis, proof research carbon fiber barrel, Leupold Mark 5.5-25, Hellfire brake, TriggerTech Diamond trigger. We're running the 147 grain ELD match. I put this gun together to be able to run in the Sportsman Division in the Precision Rifle Series, and also that's going to be able to allow me to run the same setup for the Mammoth Sniper Challenge next year to get some practice on shooting in the matches and then shooting it in the Mammoth Sniper Challenge. So we just put this gun together, so we're going to go ahead and bore sight it. The folding stock is going to make that easy. Pull the bolt. We're going to look down the barrel. We're going to point it at the orange target downrange through the barrel, and then line up the reticle. So we need to come up a little bit. And then we need to come left some. Alright, so I think that should be bore sighted. We're going to go ahead and start on the steel plate and see where it ends up at. I obviously didn't hit the steel plate. Let me review the footage on my binoculars and I'll let you know. Alright, so as you guys just saw, it went right under the plate. So I'm going to hold the reticle back on the plate, and then I'm going to dial down to where I think it went, and then send another round. Alright, looks like we hit about 1 mil low. Try it again. Try to hit the center of the plate. We moved just a little bit too high, so now let's go to the paper. We'll go into the paper and we'll switch you guys out to the spotting scope real quick. Alright, so I went ahead and got you guys switched over to the spotting scope instead of the binoculars. So if you haven't seen any of my videos yet, I run the Capture Gear phone adapter setup. Go check them out. It was I can easily switch from spotting scope to binoculars with their system. It's a great system. It doesn't run into or interfere with your eye cups, and it's quick attaching, easy filming, always lines up perfectly in the center. No issues. So if you haven't seen Capture Gear, go check them out. Okay, so now we got the camera switched over to the spotting scope. We're going to the paper. We're going to go right for the middle of the paper. I sent 2 rounds. Looks like they're about 2/3 to the left. So let's come right. Come right 3/10. Grab some more bullets. So let's go to the top left. Pretty good group. I'm gonna go ahead and call that still. Let's go 1/10 to the right. So I'm gonna go ahead and zero these turrets out. We're gonna call that zeroed enough, and we'll go take it down to the long range before this storm rolls in. So we just made it down to the 600-yard range. We got a target set up at 600 yards. We're taking the 6.5, the light 6.5 Creedmoor first. The big thing that I'm trying to show you guys here in this video is going to be the recoil difference between a 10-pound rifle and a 27-pound rifle. So the Kestrel is calling for 4 mils of elevation. I've got that dialed in already, and we have about a 5-mile-an-hour wind. It's in our face, so it's kind of fishtailing from right to left in our face. I have a flag out in front of me at about 100 yards. I'm going to try to keep an eye on it as I shoot, but it looks like we're going to start maybe straight up, or it's switching now, so left edge, but you'll see it in the camera as we shoot. So here we go. The flag is straight up. You see it down there in the bottom of the camera. The flag is straight up. So we're going to try to go ahead and send it. Looks like it went off the right side. So we're going to go just off the right. I'm going to hold, looks like about 4/10 left. Impact. I'm going to drop it down to 10th. Same hold. Alright, so we're going to get off of the bipod now. We're just going to do a bag on the bench. I'm going to run this same drill with the heavy gun, but watch the recoil. I'm gonna send another one.
Ready.
Alright, so now I'm going to go off of this makeshift prop here. The stool upside down. It's like a 2x4 top. So I'll show you the recoil standing off of a prop. Also pay attention to my stability, the difference in my wobble zone from bipod versus just off the bench versus off of this wobbly stool. See, I don't even know where that one went, but I don't think it hit the target. But I'm going to come off my, well, now I'm going to keep the same wind hold. I can't see where it's going, but it looked high, so alright, so there you go. Watch the footage back on the recoil of the 6.5 Creedmoor 10-pound rifle. Okay, so now we've brought out the 6mm GT. We're running 109 grain burgers at roughly 2,800 feet per second. The gun right now with all the weights is weighing in at 27 pounds. We are dialed up to 3.6. I'm going to do probably a tenth less wind than what I was holding on the other one. So 2.5 to 3/10 of wind is where I'm going to start. But I will easily be able to see where the bullets go on this one. You guys could probably see where the bullets were going because I was running the spotting scope on the last rifle. But let's go ahead and let me show you guys. I'm going to be running this rifle for the next couple of matches. So we're going into the Guardian match next weekend. And then we're going to be maybe shooting a one-day and then the Twisted Barrel Scorcher match, the two-day Precision Rifle Series match with this rifle. Then hopefully switch over to the lightweight 6.5 Creedmoor and start practicing with that thing. Alright, so watch the recoil on this rifle. I think it went almost where I was aiming. So it looked like it went where we was aiming, so let's take the wind call off and send another one. Looks like it may be a little high. Come down 2/10. better. Alright, so that's what we're going to call it. .4. I'm truing up the velocity real quick. This is actually the first time I've shot this rifle past 100 yards, so 2850 is what it's calling. Alright, so we're going to get off the bipod. I'm going to show you what the recoil looks like. 27-pound gun just off the bag on the bench. I'm going to almost just free recoil this, so I'm not putting much pressure at all into the rifle. Make sure we're bubbled up pretty good. I gotta look beside it because of this scope. But alright, so we're bubbled up. No wind at all. Impact. Bubble up. Center it up. Impact. So look at the way this rifle balances on the prop. So that's one advantage to a heavy rifle that can balance well, is once you put it in a bag, it's pretty much there. So you settle it into a bag and it's going to be on target. So this prop is probably one of the most difficult props, but alright, so check out what the recoil looks like off of this wobbly stool, 27-pound 6GT. So what do you guys think about that recoil difference?